Hey guys, it's Summer, and today I thought of the idea to be. I'm pretty much gonna be reacting to the BarbieWiki Twitter account. So, to further elaborate, pretty much I will be going through the account and all the information on there and reading it to you guys slash commenting on it because I think it'll be kind of fun because I won't lie, sometimes I forget like all the itty bitty details that I post on here, so I think that'll be fun to do. And then plus, I tend to keep things vague on here in relation to certain aspects because I tried to like the reason I did that was because I wanted to like keep things like a secret for like once the official BarbieWiki came out, like the information would be out there and it could like have some shock factor and not just all information that everybody already knows just gathered into one place. But if I'm gonna be honest, nobody nobody cares that much about the dolls. And the Barbie Wiki is a big project for me, and it's gonna take forever for me to actually finish that. So at this point, I don't even care about secrecy anymore. We're not gonna be vague. I'm gonna give you guys full details on certain aspects if we get to them, um, because I tend to do that for certain things, like about Megan and Sarah's backstory and their childhood, Kevin's cause of depression and why he was so depressed senior year, what Sarah did to get her literally kicked out of the friend group, because not much is known about Sarah, and the fact that Megan used to literally have a twin. So, yeah, we're gonna go through it. I had this idea because sorry guys, I had this idea because I was literally thinking, I was like, I want to go through all the Barbie Wiki account and see what I posted on there, and then I've already looked at some stuff, but now we're gonna go through it together, review what I already looked at, and comment. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on my bookmarks because this is where I have every single thread. Here's your Snapchat things. Um, I will scroll as I talk about it. So the dolls primarily communicate with each other through Snapchat. So this is like really fun because this is what their actual profile, well, not their profile, but their Bitmojis actually look like. At least at the current time of when we made it. So there's not really much to elaborate. This is just what their profiles actually look like, what their actual Bitmoji's Snapchat profile looks like. And then these are Halloween costumes that I don't really have to comment on. Megan's Jellycat collection. Uh, Megan has like a bunch of stuffed animals. She loves stuffed animals. She collects them. And Lasagna, her pet slash guardian, which Lasagna proclaims Lasagna is a magical creature. Her kind is called a Barat, and she's the only one left in the universe. There's a bunch of lore that we're still developing with Lasagna. I think we're gonna say that like there's actually another Barat, but she's pretty much a creature where she's the pink fluffy creature. If you look on Megan's reference sheet, that's what she'll look like. Um, this is what she looks like right here, the pink one with the arrow pointing at her. Uh, she appeared in Megan's life in high school, and what Barats can do is once they come in contact or like visually see anyone with any magical powers, they can possess it themselves and they unlock that power within themselves. So pretty much think of a Barat as like a sponge and they can absorb all the powers in the world. So they're very, very powerful creatures. And like this whole entire war went on with the Barat species getting like enslaved to like powerful, toxic, corrupt leaders, and they all ended up dying, and they're immortal. Well, no, they're not immortal. um, because then they wouldn't die. They have a very high life expectancy. They can live forever, but like they can get killed. They can get killed, but they can live forever. I don't know. Things don't really make sense. I'm still figuring things out. But Lasagna's like really, really old, and that was like a long time ago when this whole entire thing is, and she's the only last one remaining, and she decided to um enter Megan's life after years of hiding. So yeah, that's more details on Lasagna. And Lasagna is kind of like I said, her companion slash pet, but she proclaims that she's Megan's guardian. So that's what Megan refers to her as, her guardian. And because Barats have like such a sacred like history and everything, and they're like really powerful and like it's dangerous if they get in the wrong hands. Oh yeah, because if they when Barats like find their owner or something, like their leader, they have to obey their leader forever. Like they can't disobey them. So all those Barats in the past, like when they got a corrupt leader, um, and like got killed by them or whatever and stuff, like they can't leave them. So technically Lasagna is like Megan's her leader. So Lasagna kind of like chose to reveal herself to Megan, and now Megan's her leader, but Lasagna likes to label it as a guardian. So if Megan like commands Lasagna to do something, she'll have to do something for her. She has no choice. Um, but obviously Megan's not like that, and she'll let she doesn't command Lasagna to do things like ever. Um, so yeah. But as I was saying, because Lasagna is like such a secret thing, literally nobody knows about her existence except for Kevin. And that's because Lasagna revealed herself to him. But if Megan chooses, like tells Lasagna that she wants her to be known to everybody of her friends, then she can. Because like I said, Megan has all power over Lasagna. Um, but yeah, that's Lasagna. Um, so yep, the little pink thing. But anyways, the whole point of talking about that is because Lasagna created like a whole like invisible room where Megan keeps all her stuffed animal collections. So here's all her what are they called? Jelly cats. And if you click on the alt text, it says who bought it for her and when Megan got them. And if it doesn't say anything or something, that's because Megan bought it herself. There should be an example. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one doesn't have an alt text. That's because Megan bought that one originally herself. So not much to say there, really. If you want to look at those, you can go ahead. This is a phone case thread that I made at the time of their phone cases. This is kind of inaccurate because obviously they get new phone cases over time. But if you want to look at those for an idea of what they like, there you go. Here's a thread on their biggest insecurities. So this one I can actually elaborate on. So Kevin's insecurities is voice because, for those of you who don't know, and if you just watch my channel for like Roblox and episode content, then me and my sister Emma, we have characters essentially, and they're based off our dolls, which still play with the dolls, which is why their stories like continuously continuously get evolved every single day. Plus we're always talking about it and contributing to their story when we're not even playing ourselves. But because they're dolls, and yeah, this is a little weird, but whatever, everybody has their things. Because they're dolls, obviously Kevin has a girly voice because it's me. But so yeah, we're gonna keep that true. And Kevin has a softer voice compared to most males, therefore it's an insecurity of his. And then Cole has a lot of acne on his forehead, so he likes to have his hair long so that way it covers his forehead, so that is one of his insecurities. And then plus Cole has a skinnier build. He's not really muscular like at all, like literally no muscles at all. No abs, nothing. And he doesn't hit the gym. So that's a little insecurity of his. And also Cole's Argentinian. And for some reason, he just feels a little self-conscious whenever he completely can speak Spanish. Like Spanish was his first language and he loves speaking Spanish. He prefers speaking, well, I don't know. He likes speaking Spanish. He can speak Spanish. He just gets, for some reason, it makes him self-conscious to speak Spanish in front of non-Spanish speakers. Like he can do it fine. But when it comes to like people who don't know any Spanish, he gets a little self-conscious in that. Then Jillian is her body and her hair. Jillian's hair is like, I guess, curly or wavy or whatever. She just doesn't know how to care for it. She always brushes it out, so it's always frizzy and poofy and not the best presenting looking and stuff. So that's a very big insecurity of hers. Plus her body, she has a really thin build as well, and she's not really curvy per se. So that's an insecurity of hers. Apple, her voice, she has like a really annoying voice, and I can say this because she's my character. So yeah, she has an annoying voice. She's made to be that way. Apple's not a good character, guys. So don't worry, I can sound mean when I'm talking about her. She has an annoying voice, and her personality, like I said, she's an annoying character, so it's not the best. So that's why it's also an insecurity of hers. And then plus she has a round face, and she personally doesn't like that. Aiden's is his weight. Olivia's a unicorn. As a unicorn, her skin tone's pink. She takes pride in herself being a unicorn. However, people do give her stares, obviously, because she's a pink human being. And so it's a little bit, tough to get all those stares because she completely loves the fact that she's a unicorn. However, on Earth, she can't just say that or else she'll get literally captured for science experiments and stuff. So only when she's a human. Like, other than that, she like loves being a unicorn. Only the fact that she's pink on Earth where it's not normalized is why it's an insecurity of hers. Michelle has thinner lips, so there's that. Josh, Emma couldn't think of anything, so we gave him ears. Same for Darlene. Same for Stacy. Megan is really insecure, and has a lot of self-hatred thoughts. She hates her laugh. She hates her wider peak. She hates her smile because she has like a crooked little smile. And she hates her legs and thighs. So yeah. Next thread is relationship cards. Not really much to comment on there. The senior year prom for the dolls. So I feel like I went into most detail on this one. Here's all their outfits. The only couples that went at the time were Aiden and Jillian, Darlene and Jacobs, which is her ex-boyfriend, Stacy and Noah, her ex-fiance. Jessica and Ashlyn went as friends, and Megan and Kevin went as friends. Didn't even get together. They were just they just went to prom and they hung out the entire time. If you want to have no stories from their prom, it's really cute. Megan and Kevin development happens at prom, so definitely read this if you want to. Essentially, like the beginning of the sprout of the relationship happened at the prom. These are pictures. To elaborate in my words of what this thread and the Megan and Cole thread is that these are pictures that Megan and Kevin like either take of each other. Like these are literally like the pictures. Like this, like imagine this is on their camera roll, like this is on Megan's phone, but it's them. It's Megan and Kevin just taking place of these people. So that's what this is pretty much. And then so like these are them, like things that they have taken of each other or like downloaded from somebody sending it to them. Like if they have an alt, this says Megan took this picture on Kevin's phone, which means quite literally that Megan took this picture on Kevin's phone. She grabbed his phone and took this picture. And then let me find some other ones, because one of them is like Megan downloaded this onto her phone. Like if Kevin sent Megan a Snapchat, she downloaded it onto her phone. But you know, stuff like that. And the same thing for Megan and Cole. So those are things that just literally pictures literally give them. So I proclaim that they took that at one point. This is a senior yearbook thing that we did. Yeah, no comment on that. This is the Barb art files. This is pictures, commissions that I gotten of the dolls that are like really like perfectly accurate. So, because I have another long thread of like all my art that I've gotten from people, but this is like accurate ones. So look at these. This is exactly what they look like. Like they're as accurate as possible. Because not the like yeah. What's next? Face claims. These are the if you don't know what a face claim is, this is just in real life people that we claim to represent the facial features of our dolls. So this is Kevin's face claim. And I love that he has Kevin's hair on some occasions. Like this is literally Kevin. Look at this. No changing nothing except for the fact that he has his ears pierced. This is Kevin. That is Kevin. For Megan's face claim, this one's obviously her hair, like all the unnatural features, but Megan's facial features, this is Megan. This is Cole, except for the fact that he's obviously paler and he has brown hair, or not brown hair, brown eyes. But that's Cole. We had a face claim for Darlene, but Emma and I kind of decided that we kind of want to, she's on hold for right now. Josh's face claim, that's like literally Josh, except for his hair. He has other hair. Stacy, so yeah, everybody. What's next? Worst things that they've done. I kind of already gave context on this, so except it's kind of vague, but I'll get to the things that are vague in the history thread, which is this one, the origins of the friend group. So let's kind of get through this together. So in 6th grade, Apple was friends with Jillian at the same time. Jillian was also friends with Darlene. And then eventually both those pairs of friends, Jillian and Darlene, and Apple and Darlene, pretty much Apple was the mutual. So the 3 of them came together and became a little friend group of 3. And then later down the line, Darlene was friends with Olivia, and Olivia was friends with Michelle. So obviously, since they have their mutuals, they just connected and they became a big old friend group of the girls, which is the original girls. Then during the summer going into freshman year, they met Aiden at the beach. He was surfing. The girls started talking to him. They little chit chat, and then they were aware of his existence and presence. They were friendly with him. And then they ran into him a couple weeks into freshman year, and they found out he was going to the school, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, wait, you go to school?" And they were on friendly terms because they talked to him. And so then they became friends with Aiden, found out his brother was Josh, which at the time their school's really messed up, really high on popularity and stuff. So they found out his brother was Josh, and they're like, "Oh wow!" So Josh got thrown in, became friends. At the same time, um, Apple became friends with a girl named Sarah, which is Megan's twin sister. They had like modeling dreams in common. So Apple met Sarah, and because Darling also wanted to be a model, the three of them got together and they became like friends. And then finally, Apple like introduced Sarah to the friend group. So think of it, Sarah's the main character, really. She's the one that got Megan into the friend group. So Megan's kind of a side character, but because Megan is Sarah's twin sister, she got thrown into there. And here's where I become vague and where I'll finally give you guys the answers. So everything was all well. They ended up meeting Kevin too in freshman year. So in freshman year, everything's good. I think I'm gonna make it in sophomore years where everything crumbles. But in sophomore year, hold on, let me read, make sure we're catched up. Yes, so here's when things turn. During sophomore year, Sarah did some very illegal things and got canceled within the front group. She was officially cut out and no one talked about her anymore. So what did Sarah do? Sarah has issues. She can kind of become really obsessive over like people. She had a crush on Kevin and she did not like hold back. She would like physically touch him all the time, and by that I mean like she'd go up and hug him even though he didn't like her at all. And he'd tell her like, "Okay, like get off me," you know. She like tried to like she just tried to give him like physical attention that he didn't want. Like I said, running up and go hugging him, like touching him. Like she even tried to kiss him at one point. Stuff like that. Really messed up things. And like she was not mentally there, okay? She did this really creepy thing where Megan and Sarah lived across the street, like directly across the street from Kevin. And his bedroom was like in the front of the house, so Megan and Sarah could look through their window and see the window to Kevin's room. So what Sarah would do was she'd literally stare outside her window and try to look into Kevin's room, and she'd just like watch him all the time. So Sarah's creepy and messed up. But the thing that happened sophomore year, so Kevin's been dealing with all of Sarah's disgustingness until sophomore year was the final straw, because in sophomore year, well, sometime during that year, Sarah, like as a joke, like cut off a chunk of Kevin's hair, got his mom really angry because his mom has issues as well and like lives through her son, and has like popularity like really important in her head. Like, oh, Kevin, you have to be popular, because like I said, their schools. I'll make a whole different video on that because that's a whole big thing. But she's like, Kevin, you have to be popular. You have to be at the top of. You have to have the best grades. You have to be the most best on the soccer team. Like everyone has to love you. So oh yeah, and Hannah Thompson is Kevin's mom's name. Hannah, really, really values the Thompson name, and like their hair is like, she's like, oh, our hair is our best trait. Like they really cares about making it. She really cares about their hair is just like, oh, we have nice hair. So that's the thing. So Sarah cut the hair. Hannah found out, and she got super mad. So instead of being normal and literally just letting Kevin's hair grow back because it was just a chunk of his hair that Sarah cut off, she made Kevin shave his hair, and so he had a buzz cut because she would not allow the fact that his hair was messed up and wanted it to regrow all again. And plus she was like punishing him with that because she just was like hated it, the fact that that happened. And that was the start of Hannah's hatred, Kevin's mom, towards Sarah, because of that, and then because of what's about to happen. So Kevin, oh yeah, and here, get this straight, because he had a buzz cut, that made her even more mad, even though that was her own decision, and she forced Kevin to wear a wig. Like, Hannah invested in like a really nice wig that Kevin would have to wear because nobody could see that his hair was messed up. So now we're getting to the point. Sophomore year, Sarah literally was the worst she could have ever been. She was tired of watching Kevin through the window, and she decided that she wanted to see him whenever she pleased. So what did she do? She snuck into his house, broke into his home, went into his room, put a camera in his room so that way she could record him. So that way, when she went back and got the recording, she could just replay that recording for whenever she wanted to watch him. And so what happened was the cameras in Kevin's room that same day. Kevin has a bathroom within his room, and so he took a shower, but he doesn't like change inside his bathroom. He changes in his room, like goes and gets his clothes. So he took a shower, came out the bathroom within his room, took off his towel, started changing in his room, like any human being would do, without worry or concern. However, little did he know, Sarah placed cameras inside his room, so now Sarah had footage of him undressed. And the whole reason why I mentioned the whole wig thing was because obviously you're not gonna shower with a wig, so he had his like buzz cut and stuff, and so that made his mom extra angry when this whole thing got found out. But so pretty much she had video footage of an underage minor not dressed. So because this was in sophomore year. So you know what she does with that? After she went back to go retrieve her little camera, she has the footage, and fast forward a little bit. I don't know how everything kind of goes down because this was a while ago. In the events of us playing this out, so I kind of forgot. But essentially, Aiden and Josh had some event going on at their house, or not an event, but they were all hanging out at Aiden and Josh's at the Freeman house, and somehow Sarah ended up getting mad at Kevin, because she was probably doing something and he told her like back off or something. And you know what she did? She pulls out her phone and she's like, "You know what, Kevin? Like, I have videos of you and I'm going to post them," because she was so mad. And he was like, "What?" So what she does in a flaunting manner, pulls up the video that she has of him, and Megan's there during the scene. She pulls it out, shows him the video. Both Megan and Kevin are flabbergasted. Kevin's confused, shocked, angry at what in the world he's seeing. Megan's the same. And Kevin's telling her immediately, delete that. And Sarah is continuing to flaunt it. And then Kevin snaps into action, stops being in a freeze position, goes for her phone to try to delete that video off of her phone. But Megan and Sarah have magical powers. They have this one thing where they can like make a protection bubble, which just essentially makes like an invisible, like a shield around them in a bubble, like makes a bubble of a protection field around them where nobody can go in or out. So Sarah creates a protection bubble around herself, and Kevin and Megan are banking on the shield, trying to get her to like give him the phone. And she keeps on threatening him the entire time. She's like, I'm gonna post it, flaunting him. And as a joke, she like pretends that she does, but she actually does. And so she posts the video online. And like I said, they have a messed up school, so everyone's like actively like social media crazy. She posts it. He's literally so furious. Megan's furious. They're all furious. And he's like telling her, delete it right now before anybody sees, delete it. So the footage is up. It's on social media. She posted it. So like I said, to put in perspective again, undressed Kevin footage of a minor by Sarah because she broke into his home. So yeah, she posted it, and obviously by the time she did actually delete the video, people were already saving it, and it was already getting spread all over the internet, and it was being talked about all over the school. And Kevin was horrified and angry, and obviously Megan was angry. Her own sister did that at this point. Megan and Kevin are really good friends, like they're besties. But even let alone if they weren't best friends and they were just simply friends, like that's messed up. So Megan's mad at her sister for doing that to her friend, for doing that in general. Everyone found out, like all the other friends of the friend group found out. because it got posted. Everyone's mad at Sarah because what in the world, Sarah? Like, who does that, you know? And so that is the very little thing that Sarah did to get her canceled within the friend group. So there's that information. And this video is getting kind of long, plus my dad just made dinner, so if you guys want another part, which I will make one regardless because it's on my phone, um, I'm gonna post another one about the other couple things I have that are vague. But yeah, that is what Sarah did. Afterwards of that, Megan was always mad at Sarah, but she still kind of like obviously talked to her sister and stuff. Um, Sarah ended up doing a couple more things, and then eventually in senior year, Megan officially cut Sarah off. Because Sarah, before that, let me not be vague. Sarah was just really not helpful at all. Megan, well, this is kind of going into their background, but Megan and Sarah struggle financially, and Megan had a job, Sarah didn't. Sarah would always eat so much food. She'd just waste their money. And Megan was tired of providing for Sarah because Sarah was very childish. So she was just not making life easy for Megan. Plus, what she did to Kevin, yeah. So Megan was just getting continuously angry at Sarah. But then, senior year, Sarah accidentally burned the house down, and Megan they lost everything that they worked for. Literally everything. Their house burned down to a crisp. And that was the final straw. So in senior year, Megan and Sarah were literally homeless. All their things were gone, and Megan was actually like furious at Sarah, and so Sarah had to end up living in a homeless shelter, and thank goodness Megan was able to house hop between her friends because they had her back. Because after the whole Kevin scenario, that is when Sarah got cut out of the friend group. And so after the house being burned down, with Sarah going to the homeless shelter, Megan just cut contact, just didn't communicate with Sarah anymore, and she just would not talk to her. And by the time they graduated high school, even during the graduation, which was a big milestone for them, which you'll understand more in the next part of the video, or in the next video, Megan still didn't talk to Sarah. And then in the homeless shelter, like after post graduation for them, Sarah ended up getting sick and passed away. She died. So yeah, that is what Sarah did. But I'm gonna go downstairs so I can eat my yummy dinner. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yes, I'm aware Sarah's very messed up of a character. But that's what she did. That is what happened. So now you guys know why she was canceled. And yeah, canceled's like a maybe like I don't know, but you guys get it. That's the only term I can use. But Sarah was obviously rightfully so canceled. Out of the friend group. So that is what she did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll make another video explaining all the other things I'm like vague about, including Kevin's depression, Megan and Sarah's childhood history, and stuff like that. So stay tuned for the next one. Bye!